In June 2009, a user named Eric Knudsen logged into the Something Awful forums to participate in a Photoshop contest. The challenge was straightforward: edit everyday photographs to look paranormal. Knudsen submitted 2 images featuring a towering, unnaturally thin humanoid wearing a black suit. It had a blank, featureless face and stood quietly in the background while children played in the foreground. Users on the forum quickly latched onto the character, adding their own localized lore. This collective effort spawned a sprawling mythology that crossed into viral web series like Marble Hornets and immensely popular video games. 5 years later, the fiction bled into reality. In Waukesha, Wisconsin, 2 12-year-old girls lured a classmate into the woods and stabbed her 19 times. During interrogations, they claimed the attack was a sacrifice meant to appease this fictional internet entity. The attack dominated national news networks, triggering widespread panic among parents and lawmakers about the unique threats posed by crowdsourced internet horror. We know exactly when, where, and by whom this character was created. Yet, despite being a documented digital hoax, it successfully tapped into a primal human terror that leaped directly from screens into physical, real-world violence. Academics classify this phenomenon as digital folklore. Folklorists recognize the character as a modern expression of collective myth-making, built by a community rather than a single author. Knudsen himself admitted he didn't pull the design from thin air. He drew heavily from earlier survival horror games and the cosmic dread pioneered by authors like H.P. Lovecraft. To trace those roots even further, we have to look away from digital monitors and toward the misty, rolling mountains of the Western Ghats in India. Here, local folklore describes an entity known as the Chaya Purush, or the Shadow Man. This 2009 creation provided a digital mask for a shadow that has haunted storytelling in very different cultures for centuries. In Indian mythology, the Brahma Rakshas are massive, cursed forest spirits. Much like the internet's suited anomaly, they are described as towering, unnatural silhouettes, looming out of proportion with the surrounding trees. Their presence distorts the environment. While the modern monster announces its arrival by scrambling digital cameras and audio recorders, the Chaya Purush manifests through sudden drops in temperature and thick forest mist. Neither entity relies on brute speed to catch its prey. The online mythos established a monster that passively stalks its targets for years, occasionally relying on mind-controlled human proxies to carry out its will. This mirrors a specific hunting tactic in South Asian folklore, attributed to a spirit known as the Nishi Dak, which translates to the night whisperer. The Nishi Dak calls out to a target at night, perfectly mimicking the voice of a trusted loved one. The goal is to mentally disorient the victim, luring them deep into the woods under their own free will. Both the internet entity and the ancient spirit bypass physical violence. They turn the victim's own mind and sense of trust into a weapon, destroying their reality from the inside out. Victims in the modern creepypasta often suffer from what the community named slender sickness, a condition characterized by intense paranoia, sudden extreme nosebleeds, and massive gaps in memory. This comparative chart maps those modern viral symptoms directly against the ancient Kala Saya, or Black Shadow Curse, documented in the Ghats. The Kala Saya induces a suffocating state of sleep paralysis and waking nightmares. According to the lore, this curse is triggered simply by making eye contact with the featureless gaze of the tall shadow. In both online stories and the oral folklore, the encounters rarely end in a graphic death. Instead, the victim simply vanishes, erased entirely from physical reality. By leaving the fate of the victims vague and unresolved, the monster forces the audience to fill in the blanks with their own worst fears. To understand why a 21st century internet forum perfectly mirrored centuries-old folklore, we can look to media scholar Thomas Pettit and his theory of the Gutenberg parenthesis. This timeline depicts Pettit's concept. The 500-year era of printed media was just a temporary interruption in how humans communicate. The internet collapses these eras together, returning us to the primal oral tradition of the campfire tale, where stories are collectively evolved by communities. The viral success of the Slender Man highlights how certain psychological triggers remain potent, even as the technology we use to share them shifts from the forest to the screen. Whether you are navigating a dark, anonymous forum thread at 3 a.m. or walking alone through the misty Western Ghats, the ancient archetype of the tall man is always out there, watching.